Just before the polls open, this is no time for fairy tales. Let's look at some facts and figures about Jerusalem. Jerusalem means a lot to us. It means a lot to the Palestinians. And like it or not, it means a lot to billions of Muslims and Christians around the world. What is Jerusalem, and where is Israel taking the city? When we talk about Jerusalem as the focus of Jewish longing for 2,000 years, we are really talking about an area that covers about 620 acres, just 2% of the total area of the modern-day municipality of Jerusalem. Jerusalem has always been the capital of the Jewish people. After the Arab conquest in the 7th century, it did not serve as an Arab capital, but it was considered the third most important city in Islam. Following Israel's War of Independence in 1948, Jerusalem was divided. Israel held West Jerusalem and Mount Scopus, while Jordan held the east of the city. East Jerusalem had an area of just 5 square kilometers, including the Old City, which has an area of less than 1 square kilometer. In 1967, Israel united the two parts of the city, annexing the 6 square kilometers of East Jerusalem to West Jerusalem. Israel also annexed 64 square kilometers of the West Bank. This area was home to 70,000 Palestinians who overnight became residents of Israel with Israeli identity cards. These are 26% of the population of the city. Today, 193,000 Jews live in 12 new neighborhoods in East Jerusalem, while 300,000 Palestinians live in 28 villages and neighborhoods. These are 40% of the population of the city. The city has been united for 45 years, but the Arab and Jewish populations are almost completely separated in every field of life. Demographic patterns and the conflict have made Jerusalem Israel's poorest big city. 1/3 of Jewish children and 2/3 of Arab children in Jerusalem live below the poverty line. The number of Jews living in East Jerusalem has not risen for a decade. The number of Palestinian residents has risen dramatically. So what do they suggest? The current Israeli government insists that the expanded city of Jerusalem will remain under exclusive Israeli sovereignty. Hands up if you think that any Arab, Muslim, or international partner will agree to this position. Since there is no such partner, let's look at the ideas raised in the negotiations between Israel and the PLO to establish two capitals in Jerusalem. One thing must be very clear. All the proposals relate only to East Jerusalem, the area annexed by Israel in 1967. Olmert proposed that the neighborhoods of East Jerusalem be divided on the basis of the Clinton proposal of 2000 along demographic lines. Jewish neighborhoods will be included in Israel, while Palestinian neighborhoods will be included in Palestine. This is the Israeli proposal. The Palestinian proposal is that all the Jewish neighborhoods in East Jerusalem will be annexed to Israel except for Har Homa, which was established after the Oslo Accords were signed in 1996. In other words, in both the proposals, over 300,000 Palestinians will receive Palestinian citizenship instead of Israeli residency. The demographic balance between Jews and non-Jews in Israel will return to its level before the Six-Day War. The Palestinians proposed dividing the historical Basin as shown in the map. Israel proposed the internationalization of the city. This is a significant point of disagreement concerning the historical Basin and the holy sites. The disagreement can only be overcome by resuming negotiations and discussing the issue. So which approach can secure Jerusalem as Israel's capital with a clear Jewish majority? The position of the Likud and its allies will keep Jerusalem poor, and in a decade, Palestinians will become the majority in the city. No one in the international community supports this position. Or this position. This approach enables Jerusalem to be Israel's capital and to be recognized by the entire world. The city will have a large Jewish majority and will ensure freedom of worship and universal access to the holy places. Jerusalem will become home to 200 embassies.